let's dive right into today's agenda. As you can see, we have quite a few items that we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to take you through and briefly touch on some of the challenges that we are currently seeing around the industry. I'll explain what the Autodesk Construction Cloud is and the common data environment as a solution. I'll take you through the capabilities of Autodesk Build and how it can be leveraged on the office and on the field for an integrated project workflow. We'll also dive into the improvements that make Build the next generation of BIM 360 and PlanGrid, and we'll discuss how the PlanGrid migration process works. At the end of our presentation, we have allotted some time for any questions you might have. So we're all familiar with the everyday challenges on the project schedule, on budgets, quality, safety, and all things that pose risk to your opportunities. The world around us presents a lot of other challenges, as we all know very well the last couple of years, what we've seen, and that ever-changing environment is here to stay. And we're familiar with what it takes to conquer those opportunities as well. And we are not here to challenge what has made you successful at that. Today, we want to share solutions that make success come easier and more with more profit for you. In the middle of the chaos, a lot of that success boils down to collaboration between companies, between project phases, and between teammates of yours every day of the week. It can feel very hectic, and there's risk at every corner when this collaboration is fragmented in this way. As we talk to our customers, we hear repeatedly about these challenges that they face in and day out. The construction industry is known for its traditionally low margins. Projects are becoming increasingly, the schedules keep shrinking. Data and information is extremely siloed, making much of it unusable. We have labor shortages. Teams are becoming more and more distributed, with stakeholders split between various offices. Some of them are in the field, some of them are even in other countries. And as many of these challenges bring uncertainty and risk into the industry, that risk comes in many different forms, as well as you all very well know. Change orders, delays, rework, possibly unhappy building owners at the end of the day, angry phone calls, and even more. And these instances happen because sometimes when you can't see the latest RFI response on your device and you're in the middle of a pour and the engineer referred to the wrong drawing, revision in his response, or that change order got rejected because we couldn't prove that misdirection to the owner. A lot can happen in a construction project at any moment. So loss of risk and this fragmentation, as you see here in this slide, and maybe you've experienced some of this yourselves. So as we collaborate and partner with our customers, they keep coming back to 6 teams that will help the industry overcome these challenges. To start improving and achieving success, all of these don't need to be tackled at once. So let's talk about the potential of at least one of them, or just a few being deployed at the same time. So first, we have increased collaboration. The possibilities here are endless. With increased collaboration, the phasing of work between trades can be better planned out, leading to fewer delays as teams are waiting to get into the same area to work, or with increased collaboration, issues and problems can be solved faster and better. We also have the single source of truth. Rework seems unavoidable. We all know that. However, by working off of one single source of truth, teams can reduce errors by avoiding outdated information. Another very powerful tool is to have the ability to have connected 2D and 3D information and models. So teams can arm other team members with both 2D plans and 3D models so they can better understand how components are installed and identify potential clashes before they even hit the field, or before they get to that part of the project. We also have improved data accuracy. This improved data accuracy can help teams better plan and forecast their projects. Having the most up-to-date view of work complete and project cost allows teams to understand if projects are running behind schedule or over budget sooner rather than later, and also migrating the damage and providing more time to get back on track. We also have standardization. By standardizing on one platform, teams can function more efficiently. There's no learning curve between projects, and company standards are always met. And last but not least, we have digitization. By digitizing many of the processes, the gaps between distributed teams can be drastically closed. So you might ask yourself, how does technology help you find success in construction projects? Here's where the common data environment comes in. So the Autodesk Construction Cloud eliminates this fragmentation by providing a common data environment and a single source of truth for project documentation of all types. The most accurate, up-to-date information is easily accessible for all project partners that need to be involved across all departments, field or office, internal or external. This is all one unified environment for your project data. This common data environment spans through all phases of a job as well. We support the entire project lifecycle through our solutions with the Autodesk Construction Cloud. This is going to allow for greater standardization and scalability for your company, and it adds a visibility over performance and risk that support your decision-making intel. Every building asset goes through this process. These workflows you see here are flexible to align with your unique business needs, whether you're involved in just one of these phases or all of them. The Autodesk Construction Cloud is in constant evolution and continued unification expansion. As part of recent meaningful integrations, PlanGrid and other construction solutions have been added and integrated with the ACC portfolio, resulting in the unified platform that supports projects throughout the entire building lifecycle. The portfolio includes Autodesk BIM Collaborate, Autodesk Build, and Autodesk Takeoff, which are all served and powered by Autodesk Docs on the document management side. Built in a unified platform and common data environment, as we discussed earlier, these modules empower general contractors, specialty trades, designers, and owners to drive better business outcomes. With that, I'll go into detail around Autodesk Build. So let's start with a quick refresher on what Autodesk Build is. BIM 360 was the first generation of design collaboration and construction administration software developed by Autodesk. As part of the innovation process, the acquisition of PlanGrid added robust capabilities for project management and on-site communication. The great features of these two platforms are combined to shape the Autodesk Construction Cloud and what Autodesk Build today is. Autodesk Build is a solution for everything project management and field app workflow. This platform was built by amending PlanGrid and BIM 360 solutions into one powerhouse environment that is widely adoptable. Autodesk Build commands the entire project budget, including subcontracts, pay apps, and change orders. It can manage your submittals and RFIs, daily reports, meeting minutes, nearly everything from your desktop and a simple mobile app. In addition to that, it has user-friendly 3D model interaction from the field too, and from the office. It's a great starting point to begin building your own building information modeling program or utilizing that model data in very variable ways. By having all these workflows seamlessly intertwined, it allows visibility on all the risks that we were talked about a few minutes ago and gives teams proactive decision-making on managing those risks. Autodesk Build delivers a broad, deep, and connected set of field execution and project management tools for builders in a single software platform that is easy to deploy, adopt, and use. Build provides an environment where information sharing and workflows are both tightly controlled and highly configurable. Let's take some time to look at all those capabilities and workflows supported. We're going to start by the Streamlined Document Management. With document control, you can ensure that the right information is on the right hands and keeping project teams in sync and on track. With document versioning, you can keep everyone on the same page with a reliable version control. With document approvals, you can facilitate, control, and automate the review and distribution of project drawings, models, and other documents. We also have connected cost management. With budget creation and contract administration, you can improve budget control and streamline the contract creation process. For change orders, we can create clear accountability and seamlessly manage all aspects of the change order process. With payment application and expenses, we can effortlessly create and manage payment applications. With forecasting, we can improve cost forecast accuracy with centralized and connected cost activities. We also have very configurable project management. So we have submittals, which one can create, coordinate, and manage all in a single document library. We have RFIs. We can manage RFIs and connect them to other tasks across the project, the whole project lifecycle from beginning to end. Also, the schedule tool is we have very robust permission settings to keep a specific schedule information in the right hands. With daily reports, we can customize and have very flexible report templates that are available for us when we start the project. So we're going to take a look at that later on in the demo. We also have meeting minutes or the meeting tool, With this meeting minute tool, we can include all the critical information and link documents, issues, and other references to meeting items. We also have proactive quality management. So we have quality planning with standardized checklist templates to support a proactive quality management approach. We also have quality assurance and control. With this, we can track the status of assigned issues through final inspection. We also have issue management. We can create, view, and edit issues in a unified issue log. We also have punch list, of course, which we can track inspection notes using standardized templates or imported PDF forms that we already have in our company. We also have a very robust safety management. So we have safety planning. We can create and distribute safety checklists to the office and the field. We have safety inspections. We can improve safety on site through mobile safety inspections on the app. We're going to take a look at that later also. We also have safety training. We can schedule ongoing safety training activities, including safety orientation sessions and even toolbox talks. We have safety observation. We can equip and empower our team members to monitor safety in the field. We also have, or the Autodesk Construction Cloud also offers a very simplified project closeout process. We have commissioning tools which reduce building maintenance risk and quickly resolve any asset defects that we might run into as we start operating the building. We also have turnover documentation. We can generate accurate, comprehensive turnover documentation with a single click through the S-Build export tool. The unified data, the core of the Autodesk Construction Cloud and Build is the powerful common data environment and how it allows teams to collect the entire project lifecycle of the whole building from beginning to end on one single source of truth. So this is reiterating what we talked about earlier. We also have Insight. In here, we have dashboards, which allows us to analyze data for a single project or across projects to get a broader view of a company-wide performance. And we also have reports here, which we can leverage the templates that are already loaded in the platform to begin with to configure daily or weekly reports. We also have a data connector with which we can extract project data from all projects and workflows and automate the process with schedule extraction. So as you know, as we mentioned before, the tools and workflows available in BIM 360 have evolved and improved to enable more productivity and project advancement on Autodesk Build. For example, field collaboration is fully integrated with data from all other construction workflows and the Autodesk Construction Cloud mobile experience through the app. Additionally, the tools and workflows available in PlanGrid were also enhanced and added to the platform. These improvements bring to Autodesk Build the powerful integration of sheets and models with the project data of a robust project management experience. Before we continue, let's take a brief look at how the migration process looks for PlanGrid licenses to be converted to Autodesk Build. The customer purchases a new license of Build, which will come with PlanGrid entitlements, enabling them to retain access to their existing project files until completion. Once the Build licenses are delivered, we request from Autodesk to deliver the entitlements. And this process takes place on the back end and does not disrupt the customer's work in any way. So we're now going to dive into the new features that we have for Autodesk Build. On the project management side, we have a very exciting new feature. We have very exciting news, which is the correspondence tool. This new tool enables flexible communication between teams within the Autodesk Construction Cloud. We can create and manage internal and external communications with project stakeholders. We'll see how this tool works during our demo later on. Additionally, on the PM side, we have for submittals, we have now the activity log on mobile. So users can now view the activity log on mobile and track the submittal progress of each item as they do on the web for improved communication and transparency around elements that can impact the schedule. For the schedule tool, we have the suggestions column. So the list view now includes a new column for open suggestions, making it easier for users to sort and group the schedule by open suggestions. Additionally, users will be able to filter the schedule by open suggestion status. For RFIs, we can create an RFI from markups now on the mobile app. Users can now create and reference RFIs directly from markups, saving time and effort. Upon creation, the user is redirected back to the selection screen. This practical feature extends to the user's tools as well. We also have new features on the field management side. For example, for forms, we have an update in the web, which now displays the description of the form that we're looking at. For issues, we have additional statuses. So users now have more issue statuses to better reflect the work required and push the issue to resolution. We also have required fields. With the managed fields in issue detail report, teams can select what fields are displayed and the others and the order that they're shown in. Also on the mobile app for iOS, there's a new settings screen. On the Hanover side, we have 4 new features for the assets tool. We have the linked asset categories to form templates. Project admins working on the web can now link form templates to asset categories within the project templates tool, increasing productivity and automation in the assets configuration workflow. Also, we can reorder custom fields for the asset categories. Project administrators can reorder the custom fields of asset categories in project templates and Autodesk Build projects on the web. The reorder view applies to all members of the project and on the web and on the app. New asset exporting format. Users can export asset details in Excel format for an easier visualization. We also have the asset location auto inheritance. When creating an issue or form from the assets tool, the issue or form is automatically inherits the asset's location. So you don't have to specify the location because it is already tied to the asset that you're working on. On the document management side, we have a couple of new features on the Sheets tool as well. We have a full content search. So in the Sheets tool on the web, users can search for specific key terms within a drawing and retrieve a list of sheets containing that search term. Also, we have the hide, we can hide and show tags on mobile. So while viewing sheets on the mobile app, users can hide or show the disciplines and tags associated with each sheet. Additionally, on the mobile app, full functionality for markups and issues on single and multi-page PDF files is now available. Now we'll move on to today's demonstration. We'll take a look at how each of the tools available in an Autodesk Build work and how we can manage our project's daily tasks within the ACC Unified Data Platform. So let's start by getting to the ACC and creating a project. As we can see here, this is the homepage when we access the Autodesk Construction Cloud. If we want to access PlanGrid, we can also do that from here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create a project. So for this specific demo, I'm just going to do a hospital sample project to show you what we can do with that. I'm going to select the project number here. So I'm just going to do 2023 number 30. I'm going to select my account and the type of the project. This is a health project, specifically a hospital. So it is listed here. You can see you have plenty of options to choose from. So hospital. Here are my templates. I can choose a template later and apply it later to the project. I'm going to do a fictional address here. We're going to do 150 Kendrick Road in Rochester, New York. Make sure we have the right time zone. We select the starting date for our project of March 1st. And an ending date for June of 2025. We enter a value and we create the project. I do want to point out that at any given time during the project lifecycle, you can come in and edit this information because we know things change. So this is not permanent. We're creating the project. And then when we create a project, we're automatically taken to the members tab. So in here is where we add all of our members and we set up permissions. So for first thing I'm going to do is add product access for myself because I'm the project administrator. So I'm going to activate build, see how docs automatically activates as well. I have to also activate for myself other products and I have to select my role. And I have to, like I said, I have to activate cost management because it's not automatically activated. And now that I'm all set, I can proceed to add other members to the project. So I just click on add members and I start typing the email addresses. So I'm going to add my colleague Pug Villegas here. I'm also going to add our consulting services alias or email. I'm going to add my colleague Roger, and I'm going to add Jim as well. to this project. And I can choose the company that they belong to from here. I can give them a role, or I can do that later on. So I can just going to say assign that from account admin, and I can select if they are project members or project admins, and I can give them access to the different products that we're going to use. So I'm just going to click on add. And then after a couple of seconds and a refresh, they will show up on my list. So as you can see here that they are now members of this project as well. So if I want to edit other permissions forward, I just have to click on a user. Like I click on Roger here, and I can select the role for Roger. If I want to change it, I can select and change him to be a project admin as well. And you can see the changes are instant. So you can see here, anytime you can come into this tab and you can edit permissions or add members as needed. Moving on, we're going to take a look at the folder structure. So we're now going to go into the build environment. So very quickly, this is our home screen for the project. We see here the project progress, the site weather for the week. We have other recent activity information, the address for the project. So if we go into the Files tab, so this is the main folder structure for our whole project. So in here, I'm just going to go ahead and create a folder structure, a sample one to show you how it works. So we just have to click on project files on the three dots on the right, and we can start adding as many subfolders as we need to. So I'm just going to add a couple of regular subfolders in here, like models and drawing files. I'm going to speed up a little bit just to show you all the other folders and how many we can add. We can add a safety folder under CA. We can have a quality folder. We can have a reports folder. And then once we're happy with our folder structure, we can go ahead and start working on the permissions for that. So first things first, for project files, we can click on permissions and we can add here. If we type the word everyone, that would automatically add every member of the project to this folder. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to give them permission to view and download files. If we want to keep going, we just have to select other folders and set up the permissions as needed. So if I go back to permissions for this folder here, I'm going to have Roger be the manager for the folder for contract documents. So it now shows here that Roger is manager. I can keep on adding as many members as I need to. And I can always go back to my folder if I need extra permissions. So for the models and drawing files, I'm going to add my colleague Pug Villegas. And I'm going to give her managing permissions as well. So she now can manage this folder. Now we're going to move on to the Sheets tab, and we're going to take a look at how we add sheets to our project. So there are two ways of adding sheets. First, we're going to take a look how we add sheets from our computer. So I'm going to select here a binded PDF, which has a CD set or a DD set. And I'm going to click on next. So I've uploaded my PDF. Now it's asking me to select the existing version set or create a new one. So I'm just going to add it to an existing one. And take a look here how, even if this is a single PDF file, all my sheets are processed separately, and how the text recognition recognizes the page number from the title block and also the title of the sheet. So I always like to make sure that my sheet numbers are correct. So once this is done processing, I can keep going to titles and tags. So I click here. And as you can see, all these titles were automatically extracted from the title sheet, but it's always good to make sure we have the right, or we can edit this as well. We can add tags in here to the sheets, which we can use later to filter and search to the sheets. So if we're done here, we can click on Publish Sheets, and as you can see, the process is fairly quickly, and now all of our sheets are in here in the Sheets tab, and we can search and filter through them. We can view them. And now I want to show you the other way of adding sheets. We can add sheets directly from files that are already uploaded to our project. So we're going to select here a Revit model in the architectural folder. Just click select. And now that we've added our model, just add the version set that we're adding the sheets to. Now, when we add sheets from a Revit model, notice how every view is recognized as a sheet. However, this is not, perhaps we don't want to do this. Perhaps we just want to add the sheets. So this process is very customizable. As you can see here, all the views were read as a sheet, but I'm only interested in uploading the sheets into this model. So you see here how it's telling me that there's an error. I can tell them to show me where the errors are so that I can work on fixing them. So in this case, the errors are just titles. So I'm just going to add a little letter B here to identify the sheets. And as you can see, the errors are corrected and the sheets start processing. So now I can go back to viewing all the sheets that the platform is reading. But however, I'm going to select all of them and remove the sheets that I don't need. So I'm just going to be left with my 4 original sheets, which is what I want. So I can just deselect the 4 that I'm required to upload, and I can remove the rest. And now I'm left only with the sheets that I want to upload. So now I can move on to the title. If I'm good with my titles, I can publish my sheets. And my sheets are now published alongside the ones that I just published before. So you can see how much time we can save with this process. If we have a client that shares a Revit model with us, we can upload the sheets directly from the Revit model and no need to export them as PDFs from Revit. Now we're going to take a look at the very powerful file viewer that we have here. So we go back to the Files tab and we open another Revit model. We click on the architectural folder. We're going to open the same Revit model that we just uploaded or that I showed you before. So as you can see here, this is a complete 3D viewer. We can see the model. We can look at the issues that have been created. So those yellow circles that you're looking at are issues that have been created directly on the model. So we have access to the 2D side. So we have all the sheets and we also have the models. So I want to show you how we can compare one sheet, one version of a sheet with another version that was previously uploaded. So we're always on top of the changes, especially if we're working in a multidiscipline project. So if I click on the compare tool here, I'm going to compare this sheet, which is now in version 36, with the same sheet from a previous version. So let's take a look at version 25, for example. So we hit on version 25 and we look for this specific sheet, which is A101B, which is a floor plan. So allow me some seconds to take a look at the list because we have a very extensive sheet list. So here it is. Now we have the same sheet with 2 different versions. So notice here how all the changes are added and noted here. I can filter through disciplines and see which ones are affected on the change. I have a list of all the changes. So imagine when you have a very extensive project, which you have multiple sets that have been added and changes, you can stay on top of all that information with this very simple to use tool. So we're now going to take a look at the issues tool. So we move on to the issues tab. And as you can see here, all the issues that have been created in this project are listed here by status, by the type of issue, who the issue is assigned to, and the due date and starting date. If I click on any of these issues, it shows me all the information. I can edit the information on it if the issues are not closed or have not been resolved. I'm here clicking on another one. So this is a design issue. I can click on any other previous issue. I can create an issue from here as well, if I wish to. See, I have date, starting date. I can add references to the issues from my files. So if I click on create issue, I have to start from a template. So that's an important aspect. However, I want to show you how to create an issue from a file directly. So we're going to go back to that Revit model that we just looked at. We're going to open the model and we're going to create an issue directly inside the model. So we zoom in a little bit. And we have here the issues tool. But we're going to open the viewer with the list of issues first. So we have all our issues listed here, but we're going to create an issue. We're going to say it's a design issue. So we're going to zoom into one of these windows and we're going to say that there's an issue with the position of the window and then we should move it. So we can just add the description here. We're going to say, move this window. About a foot. So now that we are ready for that, we can assign this to one of our project members. So I'm going to assign this issue to Jim. We can add a starting date or a due date, which I'm going to do June 30th. And we can also click on the activity log, see all the information that we need. But this issue is now visible to all other project members. And as you can see, it is also added on the left on the list of all the issues. And then if we navigate back to the Issues tab, it will be listed there as well. So you can see how all the information is connected at all times, and all these tools interact with each other. And Jim probably got an email. Well, not probably, Jim got an email letting him know that he's been assigned a new issue in the project. So all project stakeholders and members are immediately notified of any changes. So moving on, we're going to take a look now at the Forms tab. So I'm going to show you here how to create a form from all of the loaded templates that we have. So I'm just going to create here a safety inspection checklist to show you. This is a PDF that has already been uploaded to the platform. So when we create a project, these are already here ready for us. We can, of course, leverage these forms where we can also upload our own. So I'm just going to show you how it is an interactive PDF that we can fill out and click on the different items here from the safety checklist. And then once we're done filling out our form, it's very easy to add more information like the location in the project, what we are specifically referring to, and then we can just click submit and our form will be added to our form list. This list of forms is available to all project members at all times. So it's very easy to share the information with other users and stakeholders. We're now going to move on onto the Photos tab. So here is where we keep all the images that are uploaded and related to the project. As you can see, you can filter through all of these images by the date they were taken, by the location in the project. You can also select multiple images and create a report. So I'm going to select this tree, and if I hit export, that will automatically generate a photo report. I can add a description to this photo report. I can add a title. I can edit the page size, how many photos per row I want, and how I want to be sorted, or how I want those photos to be sorted. Newest to oldest, title, and then when I'm done editing, I can click on generate. And my report will be not only automatically generated, but automatically added to the reports tab, which is also on the left. We're going to take a look at it later on. But this is also to show you how all of these tools are connected and all this information is connected. I can also download this report, copy the link, and send it to somebody as a viewable file. So we're now going to look at the RFIs. So we click on the RFIs tab and it immediately populates my RFI list. So these are all the RFIs that are currently created in the project. As you can see, I can sort them by status, by the title. I can click on an RFI and see all the information about it, who created it, when, what the process of review is in, which part of the review process it is in. If I go to the activity log, I see all other information that I need. I can even change whose ball and court it is. So right now I'm going to just change it to my colleague Pook. I can add a reference here. I can add files or sheets that are loaded in the project or photos. I can void it. I can export it as a report. So if I go back here, I'm going to create an RFI just to show you what the process looks like. So when I hit create RFI, the status is automatically set to open. It continues the count, so it automatically assigns it a number. So I'm just going to say this is just a pathway material RFI. I'm going to say responsible for this is my colleague Pook. I can invite members from here, so I can assign it to an email address, somebody that is not in the project's members list at the moment. So I'm just going to say the review process is a simple RFI workflow. And like I said, I'll select Pook. I also have co-reviewers, so I'm going to select Jim as a co-reviewer. And of course, I select the due date for that, so June 30th. And then I can select the location where these RFI is located, or where is the object or the item that I want information on. I can add questions, I can suggest answers, and add references. So I'm going to add a sheet here just to show you what it looks like. I can select this one and add it as a reference. So when Jim and Pook get the email alerting them of the RFI, they're immediately going to know what I'm referring to, and they're going to see that it's related to a sheet. Again, if I go here, the activity log, it shows all the information needed. See how I can add other references later on if I have to. And with that, we're going to continue on to the submittals tab. So the process for the submittals is very similar. We have our submittal log or list where we have all the submittals that have been created so far. We can sort by status. We can click on a submittal and see all the information about it. So if I click on this one, for example, the test submittal, I can see here that the only remaining step is to close and distribute it. I can see who the manager is, who the responsible contractor. I can see who submitted it and when during the project. I can add references to this submittal at any moment, even possible change orders. And if I click on packages, I can also sort my submittal by packages. I also have spec sections that I can create. And then if I click on create a submittal, I just select the spec section that I want to add it to, or I can create a new one if I have to. I can have a title. So this is just a demo submittal. I can add a description, add it to a package, or create a new one from here. Use a template, use the type or select the type. I'm going to do a mockup. I can select the responsible contractor or responsible project member. Of course, the due date. So again, we're going to do this time June 20th. So we have here a required date for our submittal, required approval date, and required date on site. So once we have all the information that we need, we can just hit create. And you can see that our submittal has now been created. Number 15, I click on it. And I can review it before I hit submit. I can add references, possible change orders, photos, issues, sheets that are all part of my project. And as you can see here, again, I just want to reiterate the powerful tool that Autodesk Build is and how all this information is within the same platform. We have not left the platform and all this information is available to us. So I'm going to keep on moving now to the meetings tab. So while we are on the meetings tab, we can see previous meetings that have passed or meeting series that are ongoing. As you can see here, we have a couple that we have created for previous webinars and demos. in this project. If I click on items, we can also follow a specific items or actions that we have to do. So I'm going to create a meeting here. I'm going to create a weekly meeting. So you see it's telling me I have to add a title. It's required field. So this is going to be why not a weekly review, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. So I'm just going to add a starting date and a location. So this can be a location in the project that we've already established, or this could be a location that we add, so like a north entrance, for example. I can add invitees directly from here. I can invite email addresses that are not part of my project yet. So probably stakeholders or subs that we need here. We can mark who attended the meeting afterwards. We can add references, so we can add files or sheets. Again, these are all within our project, so we just have to look at the information that we have available, what we have to add. So we select a couple of sheets here that we previously uploaded. We click on add sheets, and now everyone invited to this meeting is going to receive this briefing, and we'll have all the information available prior to the meeting start. So we can add an agenda as well on weekly site meeting or on-site meeting. The meeting discussion, we're going to add so for the first floor, we can say we're going to do a walkthrough. So this is all the standard process for when we conduct meetings on a field, but we have all the information here, and we have all the agenda so that all people involved have all the information that they need. We can add attachments to the meeting as well. This is separate from the references. And now that we're done, our meeting will be listed here, and all of the invitees will receive an email telling them that they have to be in this meeting and all the information required. And as you can see here, also, if you look on the right, I'm sorry, you can create a follow-up to the meeting all directly from this tool. Now we're going to move on to the correspondence tool, which we're very excited to show you today. So as you can see here, we have a few correspondence that we've already started doing. You can see this is still on beta, but this is available to all users. So if you click on an email, you can see attachments for the email. You can see the email chain and when it was created. So if you click on create, you can add here the subject to for your email. So this is a correspondence tool test. So correspondence tool email, and we just can add who we want to send it to. So I'm going to send it to my colleague Pook. And as you can see, you can send it to people that are not listed here. But I'm going to add here the consulting at Microsol resources, but it's going to tell me that this email address already exists. So I'm just going to go ahead and I can select private correspondence. This means that only the people that receive this email will see it listed. But if I uncheck that, all project members can see that this email correspondence happened. So I can add the content for my email. So correspondence tool test. I can add files to this as attachments. Again, I can add them from my computer or from files that are already in the project loaded. I'm just going to go ahead and I could add the Revit file if I needed to, but I'm just going to add a PDF just to show you how. And I can also even add a status to this and say when the due date is for any actions that have to be taken because of these emails. So I'm going to add here, please review, and click on create. And now my email is listed here as well. So also another very interesting aspect is that this tool creates a specific email address for the project. So I'm going to show you that. You see, this is the project's email address. So I can send emails to this address and they will be automatically loaded and listed here. So this is very important when you're dealing with a very big project and you have a lot of subcontractors, you have a lot of stakeholders, you have an email address just for your project. So any information that you want to keep in here, any correspondence, you can just add that email, CC this email address, and it will be loaded here or listed here. So we're now going to take a look at the scheduling tool. So we have a sample schedule here that we've created. We click on it. And as you can see, this is a familiar scheduling view. So we have the list and we have the Gantt view on the right. We can switch just to see the Gantt side or the list side, depending on what we want. Please now note though that at the moment, this is only a viewer. So if we want to update this schedule, we have to upload another file, another version of it. This is compatible with Microsoft Project, for example. So you can create your schedule on Microsoft Project and then upload it to Build just to view it and also to suggest. So there's a suggesting mode. I can now, with the suggesting mode on, come in here and add suggestions to activities, and then I can go back to viewing. And all project members will receive the email telling them about the suggestion. Like I said, if I want to update this, I just have to update the document and upload a new version. This is currently on version number 1. And I can filter through the activities. I can tell it to show me the critical route of the project. And now we're going to move on to the assets tool. So we click on assets on the left, and it takes us to the assets tab. Just to show you what it looks like. And here we have a couple of assets that we already added. We have a couple of air handling units. So if we click on one of those, you see it shows we can filter through the assets depending on the type, the name. We can click on it and we can even edit the description, the status. We can add references, maybe spec sheets to those assets. So if we click on the building, you can see you have a couple of other items in here as well. If you click on it, again, you have all the information. You have an activity log, which is similar to the other ones that we've seen. You can create an asset from here directly. So I'm just going to do here another test. And I can select the category for the assets. I'm going to say it's a building asset. The status is already specified. It's on the work region number 1. I can add the description for this asset in here as well. So this is just a test. I can even enter a barcode if I have one for my asset. And again, I can filter through these assets by the status. So these are the ones that are already installed, the ones that are ordered, the ones that are just specified. So you have all this information available to you at all times and other project members as well. So we're now going to take a look at the reports tab. And if I click there, it'll show me the reports are here. See how the photo report that we created earlier, it's in here as well. So I can click on it and that will automatically download it as a PDF. I can filter through these reports depending on the type of report that it is. So this is a form detail report. This is a photo report that we created earlier and another one that was created previously. If I exit out of the filter, I can create a report directly from here as well. I have a couple of templates that I've already created to show you what you can do. So this is an issue summary report. So this report is going to show me all the issues, for example, in the past 30 days. And I'm going to say group them by location. I can add a cover page and a table of contents automatically. And this is a test again. So I just run the report and it's asking me if I want to do this just one time or if I want to have it do a scheduled report. So perhaps I can schedule this to happen once a week on Fridays, just to see what's going on in the field. So you see my report is now being generated automatically for me. And then, like I said, I can download this report and share it with other project stakeholders. So I just click on it and it automatically downloads it. Again, if I click on the 3 dots, I can save it as a template. I can void it. I can share it, or even copy the link, or save it as a template if I want to use it as a scheduling activity. And as you can see here, there are templates that are previously loaded into the platform, which I can also leverage. Of course, I can also create my own. Now we're going to move on to the bridge tool. we already looked at the members tab in the beginning, so we're going to skip that. We're going to go to the bridge tool. So in here are projects that were bridged before. As you can see here, if you click on ongoing, you see all the information that has been shared between different projects. If you click on incoming, the projects that have sent information to this project. So to bridge your project is very easy. We just have to insert here the email address of the person or the project member that we wish to bridge information with. So I'm going to add the consulting at Microsol resources alias, send an invitation to bridge the project. This person will get an email, and this invitation will be valid for 7 days. So this is just a list of other projects. If you click on it, you see what information is being shared with and how. You see some, you can create folder automations or sheets automations. So if you click on one of those outgoing communications, you can see when it started, the title, who sent it, and who it was sent to, and if it was accepted or not. So I'm going to show you quickly what you can do with this. So because we have a couple of projects here that are bridged, I can share folders, entire folders, or simply one file with another project within my company. So I can select this image, for example, and click on those three dots here and click on share. And I just have to select that I want to share this with another project. So I have to enter a title for this. So I'm going to say bridge sample. And I'm going to select the project that I want to bridge this with. So which project I want to share this with. I can also select the target folder. So where I want this information to go to in that other project. So once I'm ready, I click on share. And as you can see here, my information has been successfully shared with that other project that I already bridged before. So imagine in your company when you have multiple projects going on, all you have to do is bridge those projects, and you can share information between the two projects. At any point, you can share templates, you can share files and images, and that you can, of course, leverage in both projects. So if we move on, we're going to now take a quick look at the cost management side of Autodesk Build. The cost management tool, the budget tool, is very powerful. So it is part of Autodesk Build, but it has its own platform. So you see, notice here how we navigate it out to the other platform. In here, we have the budget trends. We have original budget. We can click on the budget tool or tab, and it shows you our original budget and the activities. If we click on files, we have access to the same file structure, folder structure, and the same files that we have on the build side. So all my information is in here as well. And also the Insight tool. So these are the dashboards that we previously talked about. See how we have a dashboard that shows us all the general information for the project. This can be exported and shared with project members by role or even external emails. We have also design dashboards. So this is geared more towards the design side. We have dashboards for project controls. We have a dashboard for quality that shows us all the issues and which issues have been closed. We have a dashboard for safety as well. And you can create your own dashboard, your own custom dashboard, and you can select if you want to share it with project members, or if it is only a private dashboard for yourself. So this is a tool that you can definitely leverage with many parts of your project. And now we are going back to the mobile app. So I want to show you quickly what the mobile app looks like. So I do want to point out that the PlanGrid app is no longer PlanGrid app. It's now the Autodesk Construction Cloud. So if you previously had the PlanGrid app installed in your phone or tablet, you might have noticed in the past few months that the icon changed, and it's now the Autodesk Construction Cloud icon. And this is what it looks like in there. So in that mobile app, you have you have access to all of the tools that we just looked at. So you have all the same tabs, all the same information for your team on the field, and then your team on the office. So that's the true value of the Autodesk Construction Cloud. And before we end today's presentation, I want to briefly reiterate what makes the Autodesk Construction Cloud different from other collaboration software platforms. A unified framework built for execution and scale, which is truly mobile native and simply to use for teams of all sizes. So today we discussed some of the challenges that we're currently seeing around the industry. We looked at what the Autodesk Construction Cloud is and the common data environment as a solution, the capabilities of Autodesk Build for an integrated project workflow, and how it came from merging the best of BIM 360 and PlanGrid. We will now conclude our technical presentation.